Okay, we can get started. Yeah. So today I am working on some basic sign-in flows of the rewrite, and also because the GitHub service is going to be based on their new GraphQL library, and the authentication is a little spotty right now. So what I did is that, so this is the project, what it looks like right now. What I did is that I moved the authentication part to a web project. So in here you will see that we have a Blazor project. It is using Blazor United, if you heard of that name. Right now they're just calling it Blazor with .NET 8. And basically how I'm doing it is that this is a web app that I'm hosting. It has front end and back end, and the Blazor, most part of it is going to be server-side rendering, and some part of it that relies on front end navigation is going to be Blazor WebAssembly. So right here you're gonna see we have some pages. So first, from the app on the Windows side, we're gonna launch into this web app, and it's gonna land in this page /authenticate. And what this is going to do is actually very simple. So this initialize is going to run on the server side when they're trying to render this page, using server-side rendering. And what we're gonna do is that we're gonna grab the we're gonna assemble the URL that points to GitHub for triggering the GitHub, to trigger the whole OAuth flow. So we're grabbing the scopes that we need. I'm imagining in the future the scopes is going to be customizable by the user. So if they turn on certain features, they're going to have the scopes. If they don't, they're going to, not have the feature. And then we get a GitHub client, and using the GitHub client, we grab the login URL, and then that login URL is gonna trigger this rendering path, which is gonna render redirect to GitHub, and that is a WebAssembly component. So redirect to GitHub is a WebAssembly component because we need it for navigation on the front end, right? So right now it's nothing fancy. It receives a URL, that the server-side rendered component passed to it, and then with this URL, if we have it initialized, we use the navigation manager to navigate to that URL. So basically we're going to the GitHub page to get authenticated, and then GitHub is going to the user is going to perform the authentication, and then we're going to grab temporary code from GitHub, and GitHub is going to navigate back to the return page that we have set up, and in that return page we're going to be able to receive that code. So that return page is going to be authorized this page. So when we land into this page, it's kind of a similar setup, right? So we're going to be able to get a code from GitHub, and if we have the code, it's going to be a temporary code. It's good for one time only. So we use that code to call GitHub with the client ID and the secret, to use the code to exchange for a token, and that token is good for a long time. So that token will be saved here as a private field, and once that token is ready, we use the same kind of logic to do a redirect to GitHub this time instead. So redirect to GitHub is also very simple. It takes a token if you have it, and it uses the URL protocol to launch GitHub, and passing the token to it. So that's kind of how we're doing the authentication from the website. And today we're gonna take a little time to make a kind of a test project just to see if this whole thing works. So right now I'm having the URL to launch to GitHub service test instead of GitHub, right? So that's the test project's name. Okay. Okay, so that's what we're doing. So in this app right now, what we have is that we have unlaunched, and unlaunched, we get an argument for how the app is activated, and if the activated is by protocol, then we grab the we grab the query from the protocol, and then we grab the token out of it, right? Because we're appending the token as a query param here, basically. So we'll grab the token out of it, and we're saving that to a really trivia rudimentary service that we have. It's kind of like a static field right now. So now in main page, we should be able to experiment with or something, right? I'm not too sure what we're going to be able to experiment with, but something. So here, let's do something really basic. Let's do a grid. Grid row definitions. Row definition. We want the height to be auto for the first one, and then the height to be to take whatever. And the first row is gonna be a stack panel, and it's gonna be orientation is gonna be horizontal, and in here we put in a button, and the button is gonna say get. Sorry, I forgot that's not how XAML works. Okay, so the content is gonna say get repo info, and then click. Let's just generate a click event, and yeah, we're not doing MVVM here. Everything is gonna be extremely simple, right? So here we're gonna have a text box and another. You know what? Let's just have one text box and give it a name of repo input. All right, and that is grid dot row equals to 0. Okay, and for here we're gonna have something to display the repo. So let's see, in GitHub service we have the definition. It has ID, name, owner is fork, is private. So let's do that. We can have a stack panel. By default it's going to be vertical, right? And So here, let's just have a bunch of text blocks. Okay, let's call that ID text block text nope name. Let's call this name text block owner text block is fork text block is private. All right, okay, and in here we're gonna delete this one that currently doesn't exist, and then when we do button clicks, let's do an async void. Void is fine, and I'm going to copy this. Okay, so for token, what we can do is say token is token service dot token. GitHub service, we need to add the reference. So let's say add reference to GitHub dot service dot GitHub. Yep, that's perfect. Okay, we're not gonna do console write lines. And what we actually want to do is say var input is repo input dot text, right? And then text parts is input dot split. We're gonna split it by this. So we're gonna assume the input is absolutely correct by the user, because I'm the only user and I am going to do it correctly. So we're gonna split it using a slash, and then we're gonna say the first part is gonna be the owner is text part 0, our name is text part 1, and then we're gonna enter that to here, and the name to here. All right. We should be able to just wait. Let's see. Since it's async method, yes, we can await it here. Good. So right now we just need to set id.text is repo.id, right? Dot to string owner dot text is owner, but I think that's already string. Yeah. Name dot text is name. What else do we have? Is fork dot text is repo dot is fork. Is fork. Let's just say fork. Oh, what am I doing? Otherwise, or original, okay, and then is private dot text is repo dot is private. If it's private, then we say it's private. Otherwise, we say public. Yeah, this is good. Right here, we can do if string dot is null or white space token, we'll just return. It's good enough. Delete the unused lines. And I think that's it. I think that's it. I really hope this works. Okay, I'm starting multiple projects. Let's see. Oh, this doesn't look right. Okay. I know what my problem is. This one is grid.row equals to 1. Does that make it better? You know what? Good enough. So right now we have not authenticated. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna come here and we're gonna authenticate, and it's gonna spin, and it's gonna say I'm gonna trigger the app, and I'm gonna let it. Oh, it launches another version. This is need to think about this. There's 2 versions now. Is that a bug? And this version is not interactable. Let me you know what? Let me relaunch it. I'm thinking if it's because I changed the running code. Oh god. Let's relaunch it. I think it might be because I've changed the running code that it deregistered something, but it just, yeah, it was weird. Or it might be I'm not handling multi-window or something. Oh, it did open another one. Damn. Okay, I need to. Oh, I know what's going on. That's okay. So in the app.xaml.cs, we're always creating a new window. Our app is single processed right now. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna say if m.window is null, we create a window. Otherwise, we just activate it. This way, we don't get multiple windows opened. Yeah, I'm thinking my app could be multi-window process, or multi-process. But right now, let's just keep it what it is. Okay, authenticate, authorize, open. Oh, why does it do this? Okay, you know what? Let me just test if this whole thing works first. So let's say, what repo do we want to test? We have, okay, I'll use dev chat. So dev chat, get repo info. Is it even running? Oh, okay. So there we go. There's an ID. The name owner is original and is public. Cool. That's That's good. We need to figure out how the windowing thing works. If it's null, then we create a new window. I'm not exactly sure where I'm doing it wrong. Since it always creates a new window, that means it's not, m.window is not. Yeah. Let's put a breakpoint here. And it's gonna run, and then it's gonna be null, so I continually create a window, which is fine. And at this point, the application should be already initialized. So if I put a breakpoint here, would it initialize another application? Right? If I do authenticate, authorize, and launch the app. Oh, it creates another app instance. That's why. So m.window is always null. Right? And here, if I do dev chat get info, we get it. But in this window, we've never set it. So if we try to get it, I don't think I don't think we will be able to. Yeah, it does nothing. So that's a problem. Oh, multiple processes have been debugged. This window only show data for okay. Okay, you know what? So this does work, is what we're trying to achieve here, right? We are able to grab the token, and we are able to grab the repo information on the button click. So I think for a test project, this works, right? Let's not get too deep into a tangent. For the multi-process thing, I think we can focus on that a little later. I don't want to say too late, because it's one of the biggest problem if we ignore it right now. Yeah, okay, you know what? Let's investigate. Let's investigate. So let's do when app SDK multi-process, and see if there's any documentations on the best practices. App instancing with app lifecycle APIs. Nice. Single instance app. Okay. For an example of how to implement single instancing in the WinUI 3 app with C#, see making the app single instance on Windows Developer blog. Alright. Apps are single instance if there can be only one main process running at a time. Attempting to launch a second instance of a single instance app typically results in the first instance main window being activated instead. Note that this only applies to the main process. Single instance app can create multiple background processes and still being considered single instanced. UWP apps are single instance by default, but have the ability to become multi-instance by deciding at launch time whether to create an additional instance or activate an existing instance instead. The Windows Mail app is a good example of a single instance app. When you launch Mail for the first time, a new window will be created. If you attempt to launch Mail again, the existing Mail window will be activated instead. Multi-instance apps. Apps that are multi-instance, if the main process will be run multiple times, simultaneously attempting to launch a second instance of multi-instance app creates a new process and main window. Traditionally, unpackaged apps are multi-instance by default, but can implement single instance when necessary. Typically, this is done using a single named mutex to indicate if an app is already running. Notepad is a good example of a multi-instance app. Each time you attempt to launch Notepad, a new instance of Notepad will be created, regardless of how many instances are already running. How the Windows App SDK instancing differs from UWP instancing. Instancing behavior in the Windows App SDK is based on UWP's model class, but some key differences. App instance class, which is this what we're using? UWP, the Windows application model app instance class is focused purely on instance redirection scenario. Windows App SDK, the Microsoft Windows app lifecycle app instance class supports instance redirection scenario and contains additional functionality to support new features in later releases. List of instances. UWP get instances returns only the instances that app explicitly registered for potential redirection. Windows App SDK get instances returns all running instances of the app that are using app instance API, whether or not they have registered a key. This can include current instance if you want the current instance being to be included in the list called appinstance.getCurrent. Separate lists are maintained for different versions of the same app, as well as instances of app launched by different users. Registering key. Each instance of a multi-instance app can register an arbitrary key via the find or register for key method. Keys have no inherent meaning. Apps can use key in whatever form or way they wish. An instance of an app can set its key at any time, but only one key is allowed for each instance. Setting a new value overrides the previous value. An instance of an app cannot set its key to the same value that other instance has already registered. Attempting to register an existing key will blah blah blah. Okay, I think I'm getting this. Let's just focus on how to make the app single instance right now, because if we want to make it multi-instanced, there's gonna be a lot of things. There's gonna be a lot of things that we need to consider, like authentication. How is that gonna be shared between the multiple processes, right? So right now, let's just focus on how to make it single instanced. Let's turn on do not disturb. Single instanced apps only allow one instance of the app running at a time. When UI apps are multi-instance by default, they allow you to launch multiple instances of the same app at one time, which we call multi-instances. However, you may implement single instance based on your use case of your app. Attempting to launch a second instance of the single instance app will only result in the first instance's main window being activated instead. This tutorial demonstrates how to implement single instancing. By the end of this section, you will be able to 1. Turn off XAML's generated program code, and 2. Define customized main method for redirection. 3. Test single instancing via app deployment. Okay, so let's do each of those 3 things. Turn off XAML's generated program code. We need to check for redirection as early as possible, and before creating any window. To do this, we must define the symbol disable XAML generated main in the project build properties. So let's double click. The main project we want is the GitHub project, right? So double click on that, define that in the symbol below. Okay, so basically they want me to define it for all architectures. Where exactly do I do this? It seems I can do it anywhere. Yeah, like this. Is that right? Okay. Why are they using lowercase? And define constants, that also seems like something that should use uppercase. Right, conditions. I think these should all be uppercase. What's wrong with this? Jesus. All right. Okay. And define constants. I think it should be like upper D and upper C, like this. And let's do that for all of them. All right, now that we defined it, what's the second thing to do? Define and customize the program class with a main method. So we need a program. So right now we don't have a program, right? Yeah, we don't have a program. So I think it just go off of the app.xaml.cs. It might be generated then, right? So let's just create a new class here. Oh wait, what's happening? One or more projects have changes which cannot be automatically handled by the project system. Please save other changes and reload these projects. Okay, saved everything, reload. Did that work? Please work. It hang. Okay, did that work? Wait, what? Reload the project, don't save. Is it okay this time? This is weird. Anyways, let's add a new class. Let's call it program.cs, and then we're gonna want these lines. Okay, and then we're gonna want these lines. And that's gonna be here. Missing one curly brace. Right here, we want to define this. Yeah. And cannot explicitly convert from void to bool. Am I not returning anything? Task of bool. Alright. And unactivated is right here, so boom. Nope, that's not how it works. Copy, paste. Alright. You don't want me to return anything? Okay, just fall through then. So that's the second thing we need to do. Right. So three things. The third thing is going to be for testing. So let's test it. What are we going to do? Okay, so let's build. We'll build, and then we'll deploy, and then we will try to trigger it twice. So deploy succeeded. It's called GitHub. You know what? I don't think it succeeded. Oh, is it this one? That's one. Good. It did not launch a second one, but it also didn't bring this one into focus. Okay. Yeah, it did not bring it into focus. Okay, so what's happening right now is that this program class is being used as the main entry point. So the main method is the entry point, and what's happening is that we're gonna try to see if this is redirected, meaning redirected from another launch other than the current one, right? So initially it's set to false, and then we're gonna do some things to determine if it's redirected. So if it is, we set it to true. Yeah, so if the key that we're getting is current key, then that means we launched it for the first time. Otherwise it's redirected. So if it is redirected, if it's not redirected, we create the app, and the app will handle focusing on the window. So if we want the window to be focused, we just need to do an else statement and focus on it. So I think let's save the app somewhere, right? So we have the app instance here, and then let's just say main method class, we'll just say private app, let's call it instance, right? And then in this case we'll just say instance is new app. Can we do this? Well, okay. Oh, this is static. What do we do for static? We can also set this as static. Yeah. So on else, that means instance already exists. So right here we can do else, and just to be safe, if instance isn't null, what we're gonna do here is that we're gonna get instance dot and then we're gonna define something here in app, right? So let's do focus main window, and then what we're gonna do is that we're gonna do if window isn't null, window dot is there bring to focus. How do I focus on it? Is there activate? Yeah, activate. Okay, and then here we'll just say focus main window. Is that a thing? Did it become a thing? App does not contain a definition for focus main window, and no accessible. We're talking about the same app here. Get dot current dot window, no dot. How do I focus it? app window. Oh, wait. Nope. App window dot is there get current? No. Let's ask Copilot. In Windows app SDK when UI3, how do I focus on the main from my custom program.cs class? Let's see if Copilot knows. Yeah. That's not what I want. What is this app? Oh, that's why. Okay. So stupid. All right. I added the code to the wrong place. That was stupid. Okay. So I should have added it here. Yeah, now in this case we can do focus main window. Let's see. Let's do build. Close this one. We'll do a deploy. Succeeded. GitHub. Launched. Right, that's the first one. I'll put it unfocused and try to launch it again. It did not bring that into focus. All right, that's not right. They have another way though. It's a try show, right? Can do this. Try show. Oh no. App window dot get. Okay, I'll try this. I'll grab that one. Wait. Window dot app window. It was that easy. And there's no try show. Okay. So what does it have? Just show? Okay. I guess that could work. Just do a build and deploy, and let's launch that. First instance, go to the background. Second, it is not bringing that into focus. What else could we do? App window dot it's just not calling it. I'm suspecting it's just not calling this line, right? How can I test it? Let's do a rebuild. Deploy. We'll launch it. Okay, and then how do I attach my debugger to a running process? No. What's happening? Configure? No. Attach. There we go. Search for GitHub. Did I accidentally start something? Anyways, attach to it. And now if we try GitHub, oh no, do that. Actually, let's go to the programs and see if we're running into this again, right? Go to the background, do GitHub, and nothing is happening. It's weird. Did I attach it correctly? So, say if we do a click. If we do a click, do we even, what was that? Okay, do we even get the breakpoint? We do. So we attached it correctly, but not here? Is that what you're saying? So if I do this, nothing happens? That's a little concerning. It's very concerning. We'll end this one for now. Does it get recreated? Or here? Nothing is getting called. Main method is not getting called. App is not getting called. What's going on? Is the guide out of date? It's from 2 years ago, more than 2 years ago. It's more than 2 years ago. Oh, do we get a breakpoint here? Ah, okay. That's where. Got it. Okay. What is launch? I want to see args. Do we get a data? And then there's some arguments. Okay, cool. I think this one works. So, yeah, we'll probably never get one from here, but let's just be cautious and do this, right? So what was I gonna say? Need to rebuild. And then redeploy. And launch it one time, send it to the background, launch it, and it is not focusing. Attach to process, attach. Let's see if we're getting to this line. We are. Window is window. We're getting a comic section. Okay. But it worked. Wait a minute. Did it work? Okay. That's a little weird. Let's try something. So here, let's say we'll just do app window dot show. Okay. Rebuild. Okay. And deploy. All right. GitHub. This one. Send it to background. GitHub. Nothing is happening. Let's attach. And put it here. Again, GitHub. And show. Come exception. Yeah. What's the exception? It's not very helpful. Where is the details? Reflection. What does that mean? If I do this, it does show. Huh? So if I do try catch block, what's gonna happen? Build. Oh, you know what? Let's just do exception E. Then we need to give it a little space because in case we want to put breakpoints in here, we can. Build. And deploy. There you go. 1 and 2. Nope. Let's attach. Okay. Try that again. What's the exception? It's nothing. So helpful. It's an empty string. Oh my god. What's in data? There's nothing. There is nothing. What does that even mean? So like if I in debug mode, it still doesn't work. I mean, it still doesn't work. But if I put a breakpoint, suddenly it works. Is there a race condition? Okay, nothing here. That's really weird. Well, what if in here we do like task dot delay, and we'll just say 100 milliseconds. That was kind of stupid. Yeah. It's not working. What if we make that into 1 second? It's not helping. There's definitely a raised condition going on, but what is it? Okay, let's see if Copilot knows. Gonna attach it to the process and see if we do have a app window. All right. Okay. Is it already throwing it? Seriously? Oh, so he doesn't have an app window. Do I need to get on the dispatcher queue to do this? Let's try that actually. It's basically a void function. So here I can basically do this. Can I capture something here? Like say if I want main window. No. Do I still have access to main window? Oh, I do. Okay. Let's see if activate works in this case. And we don't want that anymore, I think. Let's build. And deploy. And GitHub. That's one instance. GitHub. Still doesn't work. Okay. Let's attach. Attach. Let's see if it ever goes in there. Okay. We actually don't error out anymore. But somehow it still also just only works in debug mode. Weird. Let's do app window without show. Okay. Build. And deploy. Okay. GitHub. GitHub. Really? Still no? What's happening? Breakpoint. Okay. Shift click. This time we do have an app window. I don't think we're ever in the exception path again, right? Yeah, we're never here anymore. So the problem, well, there was one problem about the dispatching queue, but still, it doesn't show it if I'm not in debug mode. What's going on? What is going on? Yeah, so Copilot is also referring to race conditions, which I don't think I have them. But just in case, let's delete this block. Build and deploy. Okay, so that's one instance. Still doesn't work. Okay. Then I don't know. We do have async operations. So let's attach to it again. And let's see, are we ever in these places? Okay. Not ever, right? We're only in unactivated, and unactivated calls focus main window. Focus main window gets the dispatcher queue and try to show the app window. Okay, let's try something different. Let's put it to release mode. Save. Rebuild. Okay. Deploy. Did it launch? It did not launch. Let's see if we can stop the process. There's no running process. And it doesn't run. What? Oh, this is so... I can solve all these problems before I can even be productive on this app. I mean, the build was successful. But it's just not launching it. But if I go back to release, I'm pretty sure it's going to, let's see. Deploy. Okay, it's launching it. Still doing nothing, right? The title bar is still, the title text is still gray. That means it's not focused. Do you think this is being run? Let's take a look. Attach it to the process. It is not, yeah. Okay. Are any of these lines being run? It is not. Only here. Yes. Yes. also didn't work. I thought it was a timing issue. I could just delay here. What if I delay it after? Build. Deploy. Okay. Launching it once, launching it twice. Not working, not working, not working. Let's just delay it everywhere. Okay. At least one of them should work. That's my hope. Let's wait for 2 seconds. Let's wait for 2 seconds everywhere. Oh, if I can't solve this today, I'm gonna stop streaming because I'm not gonna want to be stuck on this. Wait, did I rebuild? Let me rebuild. I don't want to be stuck on this whole night. I'm gonna try to find a way to fix it off stream. All right. If it's a timing issue, then we should use time to resolve. I think I waited long enough for those 2 seconds, right? Okay, so it's not happening. Huh, interesting. Show is that. Okay, it goes for nothing. Still no. I'll create a site load package and see if that fixes it. And we're gonna have it as release. Okay. Let's try creating a release package to see if this is just a debug mode problem. To be honest, I don't think it is, but who knows, right? Just delete this, uninstall, and install. Finished. That was fast. Oh wow, it did not open the right folder. Okay, doesn't matter. GitHub bin x64 debug 98. What? GitHub bin x64 debug 98 Windows. That does not exist. Did this say successful? Oh, it's in release now. Never mind. App package installer. Error occurred while in the file from the web. Please try downloading and opening the file locally. That's okay. I'll just use this. Did it launch? It did not launch, right? It's not launching. Release x66 64 disable XAML generated main. I don't think I'm doing anything wrong, so it's extremely frustrating to not be able to fix. Okay, I think that'll be it for today's stream. I'll try to fix this off stream, but if I couldn't, I'll try to ask for some help. But yeah, let's summarize for today's stream. I think mainly we just accomplished two things. We were able to use this test project to make sure that we were able to call into the authentication API on the web, and using the token that we got back, pass that to the GitHub service, and we were able to grab information about repositories and we're able to display them. That's the first thing that we accomplished. Not a small feat, if you ask me, for one day. And the other thing is that we were able to kind of set the app to a single instance, right? We disabled the generated main file from XAML, and then we created our own main method used in the program class. Yeah, we run into something about not being able to focus, bring the windows to focus. So we'll look into that next. But for today, I think it's a pretty productive day. All right, cool. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.